Dateline, November 2011. Quote-unquote, the page of news bites. Infinite boobs. Election 2010, Maine Governor. Paul LePage, Republican, wins with 39% of the vote. In what was dubbed a quote-unquote open conversation with Colby students and Central Maine residents, only heavily vetted questions most palatable to LePage were ever asked. He had a rough start to his administration, with one distraction after another making maniacs shake their heads and wonder. On the eve of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Maine's Governor Paul LePage told a local television station that the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People can, quote-unquote, kiss my butt. Governor Paul LePage's answer to a question last week has prompted last-minute claims that he is endorsing both sides. Two polls. One shows him surging in popularity. The other? Not so much. Paul LePage ran away from home at age 11 to escape an abusive father. Paul LePage has now proposed mandatory drug testing for welfare recipients. 29% of Maine's total population is on some form of welfare. Was LePage on some form of welfare at 11 years old? Governor Paul LePage wants to cut in half Maine's reliance on oil for heating homes. Governor Paul LePage wants education leaders to pressure lawmakers to pass his cuts to the Department of Health and Human Services budget. If they don't, he said last week, he'll cut education budgets. Paul LePage says Maine's teachers are not doing enough. Comments from the governor are that some maniacs are staying on unemployment because the benefits are good. LePage said some industries are bringing in workers from Jamaica for jobs that maniacs could fill, but don't, opting to stay on public assistance. Maine's largest state workers union has filed a formal complaint against Governor Paul LePage and his administration for allegedly negotiating a new contract in bad faith. The governor's spokeswoman called the complaint a quote-unquote 21-page press release filled with inaccuracies. He has pledged to back right-to-work legislation that union officials have said would cripple them. Governor Paul LePage ordered the removal of a 36-foot mural depicting Maine's labor history from the lobby of the Department of Labor. Paul LePage and his allies eliminated same-day voter registration in Maine. On Election Day, voters chose by a 61 to 39% margin to restore same-day voter registration. The Boston Globe has reported that in 2010, Maine registered 60,000 new voters on Election Day, and there were no proven claims of voter fraud. Paul LePage has pledged to continue the fight to restrict voting rights. The governor pledged to stay out of casino campaigns. Following the casino's rejection on Tuesday's statewide ballot, some in the former Mill City feel betrayed by their native son, Governor Paul LePage. Where does LePage get these crazy ideas? Paul LePage pledged his support for an all-out effort to deal with the problem. Paul LePage merits praise for acknowledging the problem and pledging to support his corrective action and called his governorship a quote-unquote cheap shot to the Maine people.